Hey everybody, Danny Maud here, and today I want to ask you a quick question. Have you ever wanted to add 20 or 30 yards onto your iron shots? Stupid question, isn't it? Of course you have. The reason why I say this is because I had a client recently, Nigel, who came to me almost thinking about quitting the game. He was really struggling to make the carries over some of the holes here at Canterbury, and his ball striking was very average at the time, and particularly his irons, he just wasn't hitting anywhere at all. And he came to me and said, Danny, I need some extra carry and I really need some extra power. Is there anything that you can do? Within half an hour, we added 30 to 40 yards onto his iron shots. Now that's not normal. Not everybody's going to do this, but in this one session, we got him hitting it 30 to 40 yards further. It was incredible, and I want to share with you some of the things he worked on to really improve his ball striking, and some of the things that he was doing which was causing a massive loss of power. So let's get started. So basically, his loss of power was caused because, first of all, an understanding. He wasn't aware of how you should generate some power in the goal, how you should generate energy. And what was happening, he was trying to generate energy with brute force and also a lot of wrists and flickiness going through impact. Now what this kind of looks like in slow motion is the impact position was very much like this. Okay, so if you look at this position here, there's kind of a breakdown in the wrist. It's very flicky. Now if you relate this to throwing a ball, if you were to throw a ball like this, you're not going to get any power. Throwing a ball is the same thing. Throwing a javelin, where's the wrist? It's at this angle, it's not like this, and it's thrown like that. So we need to look at, in a sense, how he improved his impact position to generate those extra yards. So here's the first thing we did. First thing was understanding. So I'm going to show you and help you feel what is a great impact position. The first thing to do is we're going to put a club right behind the ball, and what we're going to do is we're going to lean the shaft forward. I'm going to push my weight onto my left side, lean my heel in a little bit here and push down, okay, this way. I'm going to feel this pushing into the ground here. Now just one little caveat, I'll show you from this angle here. So when I'm pushing down, I'm not pushing down like this. My right arm and my right elbow is connected to my chest here, and I'm pushing down like this. So you should just be able to see my left arm. I'm pushing into the ground here with nearly 90% of my weight on that left side. Now a lot of people, when they're playing, they're almost trying to hit the ball just cleanly off the surface, or trying to hit up on the ball. And power is created by pressure. Power is created by pressure. Pressure going into the ground, okay? Not forward this way, going into the ground. We're putting pressure on the golf ball. We're not trying to flick it forward. So the way we work on this then, if power is caused by pressure going into the golf ball, we need to create a swing that causes pressure. Now you can see here with Nigel's swing, when he was flicking here, the pressure's going where? It's going upwards, okay? It's almost going this way. What we need to create is a pressure going into the ball. So let me explain. So what we did was, I thought his backswing was pretty good. You've got to put the club in a position to put pressure down. So he was pretty good. He wound up to the top, okay? And then all we simply did was this. We helped him to get the feeling of doing this, straight down, straight down, straight down. Now when you go straight down, the initial impact was more, he'd go straight down and around, straight down and around, which would look like this. He'd go straight down and around. Now the problem with that is he was coming over the top with it. Well, this is this. We go straight down here. The energy is going into the ground, not going towards the target at this stage. We're putting pressure into that golf ball, okay? Now the drill that we gave him, apart from this, okay, was that when he did come down, he started to just do it with his arms like this, okay? Now what we wanted to try and do to get that pressure going down into the ground is I wanted him to engage his entire body, okay? So it wasn't just this kind of very different to down, down. Look what I'm doing here with my legs. My legs, my body. I'm driving down, but I'm not driving with rotation at this stage. I'm just simply driving down towards that ground here. Now what I would do, I'd often exaggerate this motion, okay, just for the feeling, is I'd almost get him to do this, so his hands were almost staying ahead initially. Now that in itself is probably a bit too much and almost incorrect, right? But it certainly gave him the feeling of stopping this flick, which was very natural for him, okay? So he was driving down, putting the pressure into that golf ball here. The other thing I would do is, the next thing we worked on, we found that when you start to do this, great, I'll just show you what that looks like now. We're going here, we're going to drive into the ground, and we start to strike. Beautiful sound, punching that ball into that ground, okay? Very, very nice. But obviously it looks quite simple to start off with, but what Nigel was doing is he got the impression of going down. He started to even engage his body now. But what he would do is he got to roughly about here, and he wasn't used to keeping this drive on here, so get to about here, and he would flick it right at the last minute, okay? So what we then decided to do was, that flick was really caused because he was trying to get into a full follow through, okay? And he was so used to flicking his wrists to get to a full follow through that was a difficult thing just to overcome in the session. So instead, we focused on just a more of a punch style action where basically the follow through was much, much shorter to start off with. That way, there was no need or necessary to flick the wrists. So we worked on this action. We go wind up, down, and we're going to do a punch. Down, punch, okay? So in summary, what we did with Nigel is we first of all gave him the understanding that to get power with an iron shot, we need to get pressure going down into the golf ball. Not too concerned about hitting it forward, but putting pressure into the golf ball. For those of you who are lacking distance, my bet is you're not taking many divots. And if you are, those divots are probably behind the golf ball, all right? So just the sensation that the energy is going downwards to start off with will be really, really helpful, okay? The next thing, okay, I'd like to take away from today would be the drills. Now, what did we do with Nigel? Well, we made sure that first he was in a position to come down. If you're around here, it's hard to put pressure down on the ground, so we made sure that when he was in a nice high position at the top of the swing. Then I got him to very slowly do some exercises to go downwards. Things to look out for, whereas Nigel simply just did his arm movement initially, right? But that's not engaging the body, it's not engaging the whole swing and the whole movement. So we got him to sense the drive, the legs, the pressure going into that ground, okay? Down here, and we continued that drill to sometimes almost exaggerate the motion where the hands were almost here, okay? Incorrect, yes, but it will really exaggerate the feeling of driving here and keeping the hands there as opposed to there. That was that drill. Second thing, right? The third thing we did with this was we got him to finish much shorter initially, like he was playing a punch shot, because again that stopped the need. Then he felt as though from this position he couldn't follow through anyway, but from here when he wanted to swing all the way through, he couldn't resist flicking. So finishing much shorter when you're working on this on the driving range will really help you engage in this motion. Number 4 was the one that we started with. Just be aware that what we're trying to do is have a feeling of the impact first. Get a sensation of that motion where you should be here, okay? And remember one thing to watch out for. Where this could go drastically wrong if you do it is if you go down with rotation. That is not what we're after, okay? Shots that you'll see if you're doing this like that, you could shank it, you could pull it way left, and you could slice it, okay? So what we're trying to do is watch. When we go down, the sensation, we're feeling that motion there, the right elbow's in, the left, and the shoulders are pretty square at this stage, okay? They're not wide open, okay? They're aiming straight down the line, they're not turn to the left, okay? So doing some exercises where you simply feel impact. You can do this at home. This is the great thing about it. You can do this at home. Will really give you an idea of how to compress into that golf ball, and pressure's the key. Pressure's the key to power. All right, I really hope you enjoyed this video. As normal, guys, if you really think someone could benefit with a few extra yards, please share it with your friends. I'll leave my email in the comments box below, as well as the standard comments box. Please leave your messages if you've got any questions or you'd like to send over your videos of your swings. I'm more than happy to help. Until next week, have a great golfing week. Hi, it's Danny. Did you like this video? If you did, there's 2 things you could do right now. 1, subscribe to my channel, and receive this content on a weekly basis. The second thing you could do is you could head on over to my website right here and receive my weekly newsletter. In that newsletter, we have various different advice in PDF format. You can access my podcast. In fact, many things that you cannot access on this channel. Head on over to it here. Until next week, have a great golfing week.